Looks like the match is going to be on Storm, which
And
is
oh,
the map we were
he's
doing not too long ago.
he's going back to the Neo, and I don't know about this. I don't think Neo is
You
favored
think you
in
can
that.
pull a fast one and not let the other players see your mech choice? I'm sorry.
And Neo versus Saucer, I have to favor the Saucer in this matchup, unless Neo gets to that level 4 cloak and starts backstabbing like the hell out of all of his units. But Scrutable definitely has some AA in there, you know. And Scrutable even saying, "I wanted the Saucer versus Saucer."
Someone's confident in their saucer.
Yeah, Scrutable is my dark horse. I'm betting on Scrutable winning.
I,
I hope so. I want to.
After that game, yeah, I could get behind that. I can see the logic why someone would feel that way. You're not silly.
And I'm interested to see the Storm pick. He's going Neo on Storm. Usually Storm is like kind of a map you see like the Ospreys, like we saw before, or you see like Striker even. But Neo on Storm is not something you see too often.
So here we are with Chucknology versus Scrutable in this Incognito tournament. Chucknology naturally being someone we have no idea who he is, but that's likewise true with Scrutable. Both of these looking to be really strong players and doing really well in their qualifying matches early on, and now that
Mhm.
they're facing each other, seems to be actually a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, and even like a little bit of grudge match. Technology only saying one word after that game. He said Storm, and he's all in. He's full concentration mode now after that decisive loss to Scrutable last game.
Going
So
full try hard.
yeah, he's going full try hard. This is a grudge match for him. He cannot be humiliated like that
Uh,
after he did the humiliating earlier on the game.
he does have the Longhorn on his side versus the Gemini for Scrutable, so this
And
could.
I have to favor the Longhorn in this matchup, especially on a map like Storm. I feel like it's a lot of close quarters tank battles, and the Longhorn definitely have the higher armor piercing in
I
that
wouldn't call it
tank v
like a
tank
straight
battle.
up loadout counter, but I would give Chucknology a little bit of an upper hand just from
Yeah.
what they're going. Scrutable does pick up a free T99 turret just from the neutrals.
And wow, I didn't actually know that. I didn't know that if you abduct the T99, that it's actually in range of the Goliath. So you didn't even have to pick up and micro it. That T99 will just eventually kill that Goliath. It's a little bit
Man,
slow,
who
but
made this map? Overkill?
I don't know who made this map. I don't
What
think
an
it was Overkill.
oversight.
Who did make this map? Interesting. I forgot who made. I know Hawk made Biohazard, but I don't remember who made Storm.
So if you're
For those of
coming
you who
from
are new
Airmech
players,
Arena, you've never seen
yeah,
this map before. There were several user-made maps that were actually implemented in-game by Carbon.
yeah,
This
into
being one
the
of them.
actual official map pool. And Scrutable just abducting the creep that was dropped at the fortress. Well, that was a little bit funny, you see.
Of course. Two is several.
And both players socketing the Archie on the socket. It's gonna shoot 2 shots every other artillery fire. So artillery gonna be a little bit more effective when socketed. And
We just
Scrutable
kind of.
actually trying to abduct the honeypot. Almost gonna get it. I think he's gonna get it in one more try.
And
Yep. He
yoink.
will. He will actually yoink the honeypot. There you go.
Nice. That's worth 5,000.
And
T99's worth
Chucknology,
another
he
5,600 or
is
so.
stacking. He's stacking creeps if you see on the left side. So I'm interested to see what he's gonna do with this creep stack.
I don't know why he'd bother though.
Look, he's put them on follow, or it's why? Is he gonna make a move right here?
Because
I'm not quite sure.
the
No, he's
turrets
just
down
stacking them
low
again.
aren't clear. I
Yeah,
guess it's I don't know what that does for them. They're low level creeps, so they're not particularly strong or special.
I guess just like added DPS, added distract, added anti-air. Even creeps can shoot mechs when they fly over. So
I guess I'm just weird. I look at that as a net negative because if you got all those creeps around, you try to pick up your tank that's smoking and you accidentally pick up 2 or 3 creeps. You
yeah,
can't
that
you
would
can't
be.
micro your units the more
Mhm.
BS you cram in there.
And Technology trying a little bit of a cheese in the top corner is going to get the neutralized, will not get the cheese though. Scrutable reacting super fast.
Cloaks away. Survives.
As a Neo should.
How many ratchets is that? I feel like these artillery for Chucknology really aren't doing much.
I I'm of the opinion that artillery is not that good anymore.
It's decent over a sustained period of time when there is not repair units. Artillery
If
is
you watch,
something
yeah,
that, yeah.
if you watch overkill play, like one buster and two ratchets on the top will actually tank like 3 or 4 artillery
If it's
just
something that,
forever.
yeah, at the point where 2 or 3 artillery can't finish the job, getting more will not help you,
Yeah,
is
exactly.
usually the attitude.
Uh-huh. I think artillery is very good when you have a very clumped set of units and not that many healing units. But I think high tier players know and recognize to spread their units out a little bit more and to kind of implement a few healing units here and there.
I do
And
think
artillery kind
artillery
of
is a
falls
good
off hard.
way to force your opponent to overinvest in healing units to
Hmm.
open them up for a push. Because I've seen Happy Death, for instance, make a lot of really good plays where they'll have this huge artillery composition,
Hmm.
scrap the artillery, change out all of the upkeep and credits into tanks, and
Uh-huh.
just get a one-up on your opponent because they're prepped for long range and you just getting close.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea, and I'm interested to see if either of these players would potentially do that themselves.
So he's building the tangos, dropping them on orders. 2 tangos
Tangos?
to the top
Oh,
right.
I see. Wow, he's stacking tangos at the bottom. And
What's
this
up?
is something I use myself in a tournament on this map. It was the last big 1v1 tournament that Pro had. And I think it was one of the first games that I played is I just stacked tangos immediately on the bottom lane and just pushed to this outpost, and then it's pretty much a free capture after that because everyone's super invested on the top outpost in the mid, and you pretty much just get immediate neutralized. And the thing is, the more you kill the tangos, the faster your opponent caps your outpost. So tangos are really good for that because they usually spawn a runner or two.
Yeah, that's a good strategy for this map. Is do play the stagnant artillery war, and then when you start approaching unit cap, open up a new
Just
front. Because
go
now
for somewhere else.
Scrutable is
Mhm.
completely unit capped. He cannot build any units until he recaptures this.
And if you notice that Gaddy that Chucknology dropped on the bottom outpost actually did get abducted, so
Well, naturally, it's a
uh-huh.
saucer.
And Chucknology making some moves. He's making some moves on this middle outpost, but I don't know if it's gonna be too successful. Scrutable has a lot of units over here, and Chucknology is losing a lot more than he's gaining from what I
Yeah,
see.
the it was a good assault, but I
Mhm.
think he overestimated his advantage just a little bit, overextended, and the crossfire ended up just shredding most of his units.
Yeah, definitely Scrutable with a lot of tanks on the high ground on the ledge, just kind of firing down, gonna do a lot of damage over time.
I think he picks up another
And he
Longhorn.
did, there you go. So
Yoink.
yoinked, yoink. We need like a yoink
Yeah.
buzzer, like every time a unit gets abducted, just yoink.
There goes another one. He's got 3 points into abduct now.
No,
It,
yeah,
it
there
can
you.
actually get a little bit
Mhm.
faster than it is right now, but
It
that's
can.
already really hard to deal with.
It can't get an additional 30% faster.
That abduct is pretty scary.
It's very broken in my opinion.
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of what Saucer does. It's
It
really
is
not
it
all
is very
that
much
good in a
broken.
head-on fight.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's its gimmick, is
Yeah,
it steals things.
I think it's because like the nature of the game is really like turned very much towards harass and things. If you're playing versus a saucer, you cannot afford to just drop units unattended on any outpost.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're literally just giving them free upkeep. You know?
As far as 1v1 goes, I would agree with that sentiment that Saucer
Hmm.
is more powerful than other mech choices. Just like Osprey is more powerful than other mech choices, and just like Angel is weaker than a lot of others in 1v1. Just, I think because the
Hmm.
nature of 1v1 demands that your attention is a more valuable resource than most of your units. You can only be one place
Yeah,
at one time.
exactly. And I think saucer just excels. It's pretty good at pretty much everything. Like blink, great escape tool. I think it's just as good as afterburners, I would say. Abduct, obviously amazing. The creep ability, like that's so good for harass. I've seen Mayor play a lot of like saucer, and he'll like pick up a few brutes, and he'll drop the brutes on the outpost, and brutes obviously neutralize really fast. But then he'll use the creep ability on top of the brutes, and then it's pretty much just like if the outpost is unattended, you pretty much cap it in like a few seconds flat. Like your opponent doesn't even have time to react to it.
You dropping on the fort. Just creeps. Scrutable trying to crank out a couple of whoppers up his upkeep just a little bit more, but
Hmm.
ultimately, he'll probably be fine. I think Scrutable's got a pretty hardcore advantage right now. Chucknology
I
running
would
out of
agree.
options.
Grinder coming out for Chucknology, dropping
Yeah.
it on the top
Grinder
tanks, and
versus
it looks like,
Gemini, I mean,
ooh, won't
oh,
actually finish off that tank.
that
I'd like to see a
was
generator come out for Scrutable. Looks like he's running
excellent
a little bit
save.
low on energy.
Yeah, but Grinder is such a high health pool. If you're healing Grinders manually, it's,
Hmm.
well, I would expect Chuck, his outpost is neutral now, but Chuck is not going to be able to keep that Grinder topped off.
Yeah, and that line of artillery actually is neutralizing the outposts. So no matter how many creeps walk in, it'll eventually just go neutral again because of the artillery. But now
And
Technology has placed the grinders actually to tank the artillery fire. That if that was intentional, that's a great move, using the grinders to tank the artillery fire so that your
eight
outpost
minutes
doesn't go
in, the
neutral.
tech switch into Pepper Bucky, I think this needed to be done a while ago.
I didn't even sorry, I didn't even notice the pepper switch come in.
I mean, if you're gonna do damage at long range, this is the way to do it.
Mhm.
If you're gonna force an engagement, this is the way to do it. But honestly, Scrutable has enough regular tanks that he probably could just drop them all in the low ground, push right in, and
I
sweep through.
agree. The upkeep is 57 to 34. It's just all up to whether Scrutable realizes he has a significant upkeep advantage or not. Because Chucknology is doing a very good job. What a kill! But Chucknology is doing a very good job. Oh, is he gonna
That's
abduct
that's the
Goliath?
game.
No
He
way.
can't afford that. That's the game.
Oh, that's a lot of credits just gone.
That's the outpost gone.
And he's going for the grinder or the Gaddy too.
Does he have 4 points in abduct? He
And
does.
oh, Chucknology's moving all of his units back to deal with this as well. But Scrutable could very much just push into mid, I think, and can just take it right now because all of Chucknology's units are allocated to that bottom outpost now instead. And he can't deal with two of these Goliaths. And the outpost's gonna go neutral soon. No, actually, I lied. It will not go neutral. But Scrutable is just splitting his attention, almost stealing a grinder. Is gonna drop a Gaddy at the top to neutralize that as well. And oh, this grinder gonna get taken down by the artillery. Wow, it's very unlucky.
He's kind
Meanwhile,
of
the
pushing
Goliaths
on
are
all
just,
three fronts right
yeah,
now.
the Goliath's just cleaning everything up at the bottom. This is not looking that great for Chucknology. Ooh. He's losing some Goliaths, though. He has lost 3 Goliaths right now. 1 at mid, 2 at the bottom lane.
Well, if you
So,
consider 2 of those weren't his to begin with, I think ultimately he's pulling
yeah.
okay.
I think, yeah, he's all right. Fine. Upkeep is 48 to 15 now. Make that 50 to 15. But, yeah, I don't think there's a lot that Chucknology can do in this situation.
I think we might have a 2-0 on our hands here, because
We
this
might
is
have a
looking
2-0.
pretty rough.
And this is definitely a bit of an upset. I think most people were expecting Chucknology to kind of pull through here, especially after his dominance in the first match, but it's kind of misleading. Scrutable definitely showing that he is the better player.
GG. That's a
GG's.
series.
That is the series. Well played,
Wow.
Scrutable. Scrutable saying you should have used Saucer. Neo is good, but I did bad though.
Well,
Neo is good,
I
but
don't think
I
he did bad, but I
he
guess
did
he
bad.
did lose. I mean, it's
I mean, there's just
Scrutable's
the
pretty
whole thing
good.
was weird. It was like it was Chucknology's map pick too, and he picked Storm for Neo, and I don't think that's a Neo map. I think if you're playing Neo, you pick like Sandrum, you pick Thar, even Duel, but like oh, Storm is not that great for a Neo pick. GG indeed though. It was a good game. It was a good series.